Hey hippies, welcome back. It's Courtney Shavante. If you are new here, make sure you do hit that subscribe button. So today the bougiest hippie has linked up with Hippie Crafter to bring you guys this banging resin tutorial. The package did come a little banged up, but it was totally Amazon's fault. They shipped it upside down, but no worries because I still got a discount code for you. So make sure you stay tuned till the end so that way you can grab that. Now we are going to start by measuring out our resin. I'm going to be pouring the part B first and then the part A, just because I like to pour the thicker one into the thinner one so that way it's easier to mix. I'm making 40 milliliters in total, so that's going to be 20 milliliters of each, and then I'm just going to start mixing. I do grab my heat gun so that way I can heat the outside of the cup and also heat the resin inside the cup. Make sure you are rotating the cup as you go as well, just to make sure that the cup doesn't get overheated in one area because it can start to warp if you do that. I keep heating it until I start noticing it get to that clear color that you see here, and then I just kind of remove the heat and continue stirring a bit. I'm going to make sure my resin is thoroughly mixed and I don't see any streaks, and I'm trying to give it some time to sit as well. Now, full disclosure, this is definitely going to make it cure faster, so don't say I didn't tell you that. You're gonna have to work fast, so if you do need to, have more time, I would suggest maybe not using so much heat, or maybe just putting it in a warm bath like a lot of people have mentioned in the comments. That's what they like to do. So I went ahead and just kind of poured that resin right into the rim, and then I'm just going to take my toothpick here to go along the little grooves and the crevices to help release those bubbles and everything. That's just going to help give it a clearer appearance when the final casting is ready to be demolded, and it just gives it a nicer look and a cleaner finish. So I like to take that extra step. To further release the bubbles, I'm going to go in with the heat gun just a bit more so I can make sure that this resin is nice and thin and it's not holding on to any of that trapped air or anything like that. These right here are the charms that I'm going to be placing into my rim. They are available on my website, craftingwithcs.com, so make sure you check the description below so that way you can check it out if you're interested. They're super blingy and you're going to love them. These are dollar signs and little 420 leaves. So I'm going to use a toothpick after I drop them into the little tips of the leaves where I want them at, and just kind of manipulate it so that way it's flipped face down. You want to make sure that these charms are face down in the resin in the rim, so that way they are showing properly after it's time to demold. After you have everything flipped over, you're just going to allow this some time to cure. Once that layer has completed curing, you're going to mix up another 40 milliliters of resin. Right here I have some of my glitter mixes. This is Fantasy Ride right here, and this one I believe is Baby Please. Don't quote me, sorry, but it is available on my website, again, craftingwithcs.com. And I'm just going to add the rest of Fantasy Ride in there because I didn't have much left, and I added a little bit of the lighter purple one as well, just so I can have a little bit more contrast with those purple glitter pigments and stuff. And I'm going to mix that into my resin very, very well, making sure that there aren't a lot of bubbles, and I'm scraping the sides of the cup as well. And then once you have it mixed thoroughly, you want to just go ahead and pour that directly into the rim. Do your best to try to avoid the base so that way, it's just easier to clean up. But if it does hit the base, no worries. Once it cures, you can just go ahead and pull that off and everything. Scrape the side of your cup. Remember, no resin left behind. And then you're just going to allow that some time to settle down and everything. Clean up your glitter and make sure you do go in there with the toothpick again as well, because you want to make sure that these bubbles get out of these crevices. You guys know I'm a perfectionist over here, but once you finish with that step, then you can go ahead and let this layer cure too. This is my first time testing out these metallic pigments and I'm super excited to use them. So it's like a metallic alcohol ink and I'm going to be using this gold colored one here, even though I do have a 5-pack. Now I'm going to first mix up about 150 milliliters of resin. I did mix that off camera, and I'm going to add in some white mica powder. I added in a bit too much, but it's fine. I'm just going to make sure that I mix it really, really well. But you do want to make sure you don't add more than 10% pigment to your resin and everything, but I didn't hit that amount. I did add in some of that white opaque alcohol ink, and I'm mixing this in thoroughly, very, very well, so I can get a nice milky white color that I'm going for. Next, I'm going to come in with my purple alcohol inks and just kind of drop this directly onto the mold. Cute little drops and everything, so I can just have them like kind of blend and randomly and just kind of see what they do. Like I said, this is my first time working with these metallic alcohol inks, so I was just kind of seeing what they are going to do for me. So after I get everything added on there, I'm going to just pour that resin directly all over the inks. I'm kind of trying to randomize it and pour all over, so that way it kind of mixes and blends all the alcohol inks together, and it's giving a really natural marble effect, because I don't want to go in with any toothpicks and disturb the base of it. I really want to just kind of see what it does. So I'm scraping, making sure I get all of that resin out, and then I'm going to let that cure. After your ashtray is fully cured, it's everyone's favorite part. It's time to demold. So we're going to just pull at the sides of this. Please be careful of your fingers, because the edges of the ashtray are very, very sharp before you sand it. So I am taking my time. Keep in mind that this is sped up. Once I get all the edges loose, then I can just go ahead and pop that ashtray right on out. After I pop it out, I'm going to immediately start sanding the edges, because I don't want to cut my fingers. And I'm just using a little sanding block. You can get one from Amazon, Walmart, Target, wherever you want to go. I've even seen them at the Dollar Tree, and I've used those before and they work just fine. So just grab a regular sanding block, and you want to go across those edges, and don't do too much. Just sand them down a bit. It doesn't take too much elbow grease to get those smoothed down, and you can trace it over with your fingers to be sure you've gotten it all. Next, you want to prep 30 milliliters of resin, just some clear resin, and you want to pour this directly onto the base of your ashtray. And what this is going to do is give it a nice clear finish and kind of seal everything in and everything off. I'm using the stir stick that I had to just kind of spread this out evenly, making sure it's in all those little nooks and crannies. If there's any bubbles, this will completely seal it as well. Get in there with the heat gun too, just so that way you can make sure that everything is completely smooth. And this is going to make sure that there aren't any bubbles in your final layer. This is essentially the doming layer for your ashtray, so that way you can make sure it's nice and finished. Then you're going to let that cure. Once you're absolutely sure your ashtray is completely cured, you're going to go ahead and place your rubber bumpers. I like to place them very close to the tip, but not all the way towards the edge, so that way it does have some room and it doesn't sag in the middle. This is also going to make sure you keep your furniture protected. Ta-da! Here is our beautiful Barbie marbled beauty. Like, she is absolutely gorgeous, and there is absolutely no filter on this, hippies. Like, this is just how this ashtray is bling blinging. So I want you guys to know my glitters are legit. So pulling in closer, you can really see this marble effect. I really love how it complements the glitters and everything. I love how the charms are really just blinging on here as well. They're so shiny, and you guys know that's just like the bougie hippie brand. I love the bling effect, and look at it from the side. It's still so interesting, like from every angle. You can still see all the metallic marbles on the side, so you don't lose the effect. And I just really love how it turned out. Even the back of this ashtray is absolutely beautiful. Like, Oh my gosh, I know I'm hyping myself, but look at it. Like, I've never seen anyone do this effect, so make sure you let people know you saw it here first. And I'm going to go ahead and place the discount code for you guys right here. It is usable on Amazon, so make sure you check that out. And of course, leave some comments for me down below. You know, I love hearing from you guys, and be sure to leave a thumbs up on this video. Thank you so much for joining me, and until next time, mwah! XO. Catch you later.